All right, we got 5 minutes on the clock. We're going to dive in. What's your name, sir?
Amas Tenumah, happy to be here.
Awesome. Glad to have you, man. What's the name of your podcast show?
It's Amas Talks podcast. It's available everywhere.
Awesome. And we're going to talk today about the growth strategies of storytelling. So why don't you take it from here, man?
Listen, I've been doing this a while, and when I started podcasting, I would just try to explain to people and go too deep. And recently, I've pivoted into storytelling, and it's really done wonders for me. But there's a secret to storytelling. It's a three-act play that we all know. I think the first part of a great storytelling is you've got to get the audience excited. For me, I talk a lot about customer service. So instead of saying phone IVR is bad, I would say something like, I cannot call a 1-800 number in front of my young children because I might use profanity. Then you go into the middle part. And every great middle story has this, I just said this provocative thing, but, right? This is where I want to really disturb and get them disturbed. And I would say something like, it is getting worse because companies are replacing that phone tree that we all hate with chatbots, which is the same phone tree, just in text format. And now that I've got the audience, excited and disturbed, the last part of the story I tell is like to assure. And this is all about saying there is a better way. There is a better way of doing phone automation. There's a better way of doing customer service that does not, right, cause people like me not to be able to use a 1-800 number in front of young children. And that's what I've been doing now. And I've just found it to really make a difference. Instead of telling, I kind of use stories to paint images in people's minds and get the audience more engaged so I can get them to the place I want, which is to teach, to educate my audience.
Dude, I'm captivated by this. And I don't have phone systems, I don't have chat bots or anything like that. But you really are a great storyteller. I could see your gift come out, man. Really good job, man. I like hearing you talk.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I used to want to show up to podcast and being smart. And that got in the way of, so there was a difference between, Josh, if you and I had a beer together versus when I would be on the podcast, you would kind of go, these are two different people. And in person, I am a storyteller. I communicate and paint pictures with words. And I brought that personality and my whole self into my podcast. Just recently started doing that over the last 6 months or so. And I want to encourage more people to show up as themselves and just, do your podcast as you would with your buddy, just having a beer at a bar or something.
Yeah, man, I'm inspired. So this idea of, and I like the how you lay it out, provoke, disturb, assure,
Yep.
right? Now, can you get those out of order? And what happens if you get them out of order? Does it still work or is it ineffective?
Yeah, you lose the effectiveness. The art of storytelling, I think someone said it's the strategic art of withholding information. So, for example, if you start with assure, then I no longer have any incentive to stick around for you to provoke me, right? For you to disturb me. So there is a reason why every single Disney movie, every movie you've ever watched, has this exact same three act. It doesn't matter what it is. It's been going on since the time of Aristotle and that. And yes, you can still be effective, but you lose a little something if you don't hold on to that. Don't give the plot away at the end. There's a reason the movie doesn't start with the guy kissing the girl. They have to go through all of this. And then in the end, there's this happy ending. So the order does really, really matter, Josh.
So now you're applying that to your podcast show. For people in the audience here that want to learn more about you and your show, where could they go? And what's the ideal person, the ideal listener who should come to your show?
Yeah, the name of my show again is Amas Talks Podcast. We're on YouTube. We're in everywhere you get your podcast. We really target, right, young professionals who are in the middle of their career, trying to do great things. The topics we talk about are two things: customer service and living blissfully. Those are the only two things I tend to talk about on my show.
Awesome. So, fellow audience members, podcasters, people out there looking to start, grow, monetize their show, head on over to his podcast, give a 5-star review. We're done for the day. You hang in 1 second.